Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches: Atlanta Hawks vs. Washington Wizards, Cleveland Cavaliers vs. Boston Celtics, and Brooklyn Nets vs. San Antonio Spurs, which are happening on Wednesday, May 12, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips, and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out my Patreon in the link down below. My new Patreon is a way for me to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours and hours of your time searching the internet for some fake betting predictions and losing your money because of it. Join High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advices instantly. Now I am going to start off by talking about Atlanta Hawks vs. Washington Wizards match. The Wizards ended a 2-game win streak when they fell by a point to the Hawks May 10th, as they were able to battle back from a 17-point deficit to begin the fourth period and outscore the home team by a 45-29 margin the rest of the way. And while Washington had huge performances from Russell Westbrook, 28 points, 13 rebounds, 21 assists, along with Rui Hachimura, who ended the contest with 20 on 9-19 shooting, the team was unable to fully recover from dominant performances from Trae Young, John Collins, along with Bogdan Bogdanovic, who accounted for 89 of the Atlanta's 125 points. Washington shot an impressive 50% both from the floor as well as from long range in the contest, while the Hawks also shot well at 48%. However, rebounding was the key in this Eastern Conference showdown, as the home team won this battle by a 55-42 margin, with Clint Capella pulling down 22 alone while posting 10 points. Important to note that Collins also had 7 boards, along with Young and Bogdanovic combining for 11 rebounds total. The Hawks were able to atone for a recent road loss to the Pacers with their victory and have picked up wins in 4 of their last 5. Overall, while failing to cover -8 for their second straight game, 3-2 ATS in last 5. The Wizards, on the other hand, continue to be red hot against the number, going 7-1 ATS in their last 10 outings. He'll gladly take up the challenge of putting the team on his back and making the Hawks sweat on Wednesday night. No one blows up an offensive stat sheet like Westbrook. Beal wasn't on the floor for Monday's game, and the Wizards still managed to push the Hawks to the wire in a 125-124 loss. The offense is too potent to think they'll just get rolled in the rematch. They'll get another strong push from the bench to help buoy Westbrook's one-man circus act on Wednesday. My betting advice for that game is to pick Washington Wizards 6.5. The Boston Celtics face their best odds of ending a 3-game losing streak in Wednesday's run-in with the struggling Cleveland Cavaliers. If there's a team in the NBA that knows a thing or two about losing streaks, it would be the Cavs team that's working their way through 11 straight losses. They're hoping to find themselves an escape hatch against a suddenly slumping Celtics team coming off back-to-back losses to the Miami Heat, following a surprising defeat at the hands of the Chicago Bulls. Meanwhile, the Cavs recently dropped a home meeting to the Indiana Pacers. The Boston Celtics are averaging 112.9 points on 46.8% shooting and allowing 111.3 points on 46.4% shooting. Jason Tatum is averaging 26.3 points and 7.3 rebounds, while Jaylen Brown is averaging 24.7 points and 3.4 assists. Kemba Walker is the third double-digit scorer, and Marcus Smart is grabbing 3.5 rebounds. The Boston Celtics are shooting 37.4% from beyond the arc and 77.8% from the free throw line. The Boston Celtics are allowing 37.5% shooting from deep and are grabbing 44.4 rebounds per game. Oddly enough, their best chance of ending the streak could come against the same Celtics team they defeated back in March at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse to end a previous losing streak. So things are coming a bit full circle in this one. Boston's defense has looked like it's in shambles in recent outings, with the team allowing an average 126.7 points in their last 3 games. It would be easy to poke fun at the Cavs' offensive shortcomings, but even they managed to blow up the Celtics' defense for 117 points in the last head-to-head meeting. With Collin Sexton on the floor, they will have a great chance at forcing Boston to relive that nightmare of a loss. The Cleveland Cavaliers are averaging 103.8 points on 45% shooting and allowing 112.3 points on 48.6% shooting. Collin Sexton is averaging 24.4 points and 3.2 rebounds, while Darius Garland is averaging 17.7 points and 6.2 assists. Jarrett Allen is the third double-digit scorer, and Sadie Osman is grabbing 3.4 rebounds. The Cleveland Cavaliers are shooting 33.8% from beyond the arc and 74.3% from the free throw line. The Cleveland Cavaliers are allowing 38.3% shooting from deep and are grabbing 42.5 rebounds per game. The Cavs might have the second worst record in the Eastern Conference, but they won't be intimidated by this matchup. Collin Sexton and company will go right at the Celtics and challenge them at both ends of the floor. They managed to do so in the previous head-to-head meeting and actually walked away with a 117-110 victory. Given all of the current struggles with the Celtics, it's hard to see them suddenly bouncing back with a double-digit scoring margin in Wednesday's game against the Cavs. My betting advice for that game is to pick Cleveland Cavaliers plus 9.5. The Spurs have all but locked up a playoff spot. They are 33-35 and in 10th place in the Western Conference. They are 2.5 games ahead of the Pelicans with 4 games left, so they haven't clinched it, but it's inevitable. The Spurs have won 2 of their last 3 games, including an impressive 146-125 win over the Milwaukee Bucks on Tuesday night. The Brooklyn Nets are coming off a game Wednesday at Chicago where they won 115-107. The Nets had 8 players in double figures, led by Kevin Durant, who had 21 points. Joe Harris added 17 points while Bruce Brown had 15 points. Jeff Green chipped in with 14 points while Kyrie Irving and Blake Griffin had 13 points each. The Nets improved to 45-24. They are second in the Western Conference, 2 games behind the Sixers and 1 game ahead of the Bucks. They have 3 games left in the regular season. Popovich's Spurs have been up and down on the offensive end so far in 2021. They score 111.2 points per game on 46.3% shooting, both ranked 20th in the NBA. They are one of the worst teams in the NBA from beyond the arc, making only 10.2 per game, next to last in the NBA. Not surprisingly, the Spurs do not turn the ball over much, and because of that, they lead the NBA in assist-to-turnover ratio with 2.14. 11th-year veteran DeRozan has led the offensive attack for San Antonio. He is averaging 21.5 points per game, 7.1 assists, and a productive 4.2 rebounds per game from the 2-guard spot. He has also been much more efficient from the field compared to years prior, registering 49% from the field and 88.3% from the charity stripe. Coach Popovich's stress on discipline and ball control is a big reason why. I'm a firm believer that this is not a good thing. Teams may say, "We are resting and can turn it on when the playoffs come," but it rarely works that way. You give your opponents confidence and you bring in doubt and lack of confidence when you lose games down the stretch that you shouldn't. This is where the Nets are. They are in danger of dropping to 3rd in the conference, and something tells me they won't let that happen. The Spurs had the 10th spot locked up and can't move up, so that sense of urgency they've had won't be there. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Brooklyn minus 5.5. The San Antonio Spurs are averaging 111.2 points on 46.3% shooting and allowing 112.2 points on 47% shooting. DeMar DeRozan is averaging 21.5 points and 4.2 rebounds, while DeJounte Murray is averaging 15.9 points and 7 rebounds. The Brooklyn Nets are averaging 118.6 points on 49.2% shooting and allowing 114.6 points on 46.2% shooting. Kevin Durant is averaging 28.2 points and 5.2 assists, while Kyrie Irving is averaging 27.4 points and 4.8 rebounds. James Harden is the third double-digit scorer, and Joe Harris is dishing 1.9 assists. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under 234.5. Good luck to all of you.